Welcome everyone to another episode of the Shots Podcast featuring myself, Gaz Choudhry. On your bottom right, you got another champion right there, Matt Scott. And the top right, you got the champ himself, Jake Williams. Again, from all different time zones, we're here bringing you all that's on our mind.
Welcome to sunny California.
I'm still in Milwaukee.
Not so sunny.
Really sunny here, dude. It's been raining for like a week here, man.
Now I'm definitely embellishing. It's definitely not sunny here right now either. But
oh, London is hot, sunny.
Yeah, man. And people posting in Germany, it's all hot, and they're by the pool and stuff. And I'm just like, man, I need to wear a jacket inside and stuff like that, man. I mean,
Why are you being so cheap? Put the heat on.
What?
Why are you being so cheap? Put the heat on.
Well, I didn't expect to have heat here at the end of May. I was planning on the AC already.
Oh,
how do you remain so tan without the sun?
I'm just so hot in general that it just radiates out of my skin.
Is that what it is?
That's gotta be what it is. You know what I mean?
Oh man.
So we got some congratulations in order, Gaz. I definitely watched you take that title.
Thank you very much.
A little bit of power shift in Spain. How do you feel, man?
Oh, mate, it's amazing. We had a crazy season, man. We had the highs and then the crazy lows where we were in a slump to end all slumps. Really, we would have probably got Goober of the 3 months in that little stretch. But yeah, man, we managed to get it together, get the title. It was a hell of a final as well. Shout out to Goober.
I watched that game. You want to know my opinions on that game?
Go on.
Your team clearly doesn't need you until they need game-winning free throws, and then they're like, "Yes, come in, finish it."
I hit a shot as well. It wasn't just the free throws, was it? It was a shot too.
Oh yeah.
Special teams, man. I'm like the kicker. Put me on for the field goal.
Came in the clutch though.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna play till I'm 60. That's my role.
We don't need you for the first 3 quarters, but to bring us home, come on, you're in.
That's a major victory, though, man. I know that Hill Union has been winning it constantly over the years. I don't even know how many in a row they've won.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a major victory.
No, it was huge. It's the first time in the club's history. So I think it's really interesting. There seems to be a power shift in a lot of, even Germany as well. You guys winning the title there, us winning the title here. It was a real cool season.
Yeah, I agree. What do you feel like when you play against your teammates? I know, you went against Terry.
Yeah.
And that's the guy that you played with for forever. That's a long time teammate. What do you feel like when you go into a big game against a guy like that?
Oh man, it's funny because me and Terry have constant back and forth texts and stuff like that. And
right.
he's a guy that likes to keep it light. That's just how he is. So he'll still message me that week and I'll fully just air him out. There's no messages back. He's got a full pout on. He knows what's going on, and he hates it. But
yeah.
It's cool. It's cool because you know each other's game so well.
Absolutely.
You know each other's game so well, and you know each other's tendencies so well. We didn't get to play him this year in the final because obviously Bilbao beat them in the semi. But yeah, it is kind of nice to take one off him because.
Right.
It is kind of nice. You get that bragging rights for the summer then.
Yeah, definitely. Exactly. Jake, what do you think about when we play against Brian and Mikey and all those guys?
They aren't my teammates when I'm playing against them, so I don't really have a strong opinion on that.
Man, you know what? I hate it, man. I hate playing against national teammates just because I feel like we built sort of like a brotherhood and all that camaraderie throughout the years, and then in order for me to play at my best, I've got to bring a certain amount of intensity. And sometimes that intensity is me versus you. You know what I mean? It's that take no prisoners vibe.
Yeah.
And that's not usually the best when when you're going to get somebody that you're super close with. So it's always sort of hard to put those close relationships aside and go at them. But it's fun. It's part of the game.
Yeah. What's the vibe like at your how do you expect? I know you guys got tryouts.
Right.
Next week.
Yep. I'll leave tomorrow afternoon for tryout.
Tomorrow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So what do you anticipate the vibe to be when you've just beaten Brian and Mikey's team? Is there any back and forth? Is there any like trash talk between you guys?
It's all love, man. Honestly, it's all love. Me and Jake hung out with Brian that very same night that we won the championship. Everybody's super proud of us that we were able to make it happen. I mean, right after the game, actually both games, when we won in Germany and when we won in Europe, Mikey came and told me how proud of me he was, and it's all love. It's our guys are.
Oh man. Hey, is Matt frozen for you too?
For the next go round.
Matt, you're frozen, dude. Oh. So we've lost Matt. Real life.
Yes, internet.
Real life.
He's gone. He's gone from the podcast. We're looking for one more person in the podcast right now.
Yeah. I think we should get Ian Sager because going that they won the Italian title. Oh, hang on.
Oh, he's back.
We were just about to get Ian on the phone, another champion to come and replace you.
I was like,
right now.
I know. I was like, what just happened? All right, here we go.
So yeah, where were you? I'm not editing this, by the way. It's gonna come to you direct like this.
All right, fair enough. Did you guys skip ahead 3 subjects already, or are we still talking about beating our teammates down?
Yeah, we're still there. We didn't hear a word you said.
All right. Really?
Yeah, it just froze.
All right. I mean, no, I was just saying that. What was I saying? Oh, I was just saying how much I hated playing against Brian. He played against Mikey, but it's all love at the end of it.
Yeah, but I mean, in a tryout situation, though, at that moment, you guys the team isn't picked. And if it gets a bit chippy or whatever else, do you think it gives you guys I know selections are tough, especially when you got so many great athletes in the States, so many great athletes in other teams. Is there a vibe like, look, you come into a camp saying, look at my body of work.
Right. I feel like what's done is done. You know what I mean? We won Europe, we won Germany. What's done is done. We're just sort of moving on. Of course, we kind of talk a little bit of trash. We're definitely going to be laughing and joking with each other all summer about how we won. They're probably going to have some things about how they won the what the hell is it called?
That's how much you wanted to win it, yeah? What's that thing called?
How they won the Pokal or whatever. The unimportant one. But we're definitely gonna be laughing and joking all summer. But that camaraderie never slips. I mean, we go against each other in those harsh battles, but like I said, it's all love in the end of it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you feel the same way, but isn't there something special about once you've won something with a teammate, and whether that personal relationship wasn't close or not close, but once you win something meaningful, there's like a forever bond.
Oh, for sure. For sure. I think that's why we sort of have that camaraderie. Going through Rio, I think that was one of the tougher tournaments that wheelchair basketball has seen in a while, and for us to be able to come out of that undefeated and do it together, I think that camaraderie is even more stronger.
I hear that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So and also congrats to the Italian champions. Cantu won again, so let's give them a shout out.
Big surprise.
I know.
Big surprise.
I know.
Shout out to Sega, though.
Yeah. Shout out Ian Sager. But so they won again. So there was no new champ in Italy, but Spain and.
Well, I actually wanted. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. OT. It went to overtime.
I actually wanted Julie Nova to win because I wanted to see what Malik was going to post on his page. So I was waiting for some hype levels, but it never happened. So. But
Malik is coach Cantu as well, though. So it's like I'm sure he felt both his ex teams were playing. So I'm sure it was weird.
So I'm sure that he thought he was the coach of both teams. Is that what you're saying? I don't know what you're saying right now. Like, what are you
I can never know what another man is thinking.
I mean, I didn't know what you were thinking. I thought you were going somewhere, and then you just decided to keep it classy. I'm like, that's not like you.
So we were saying, tomorrow we leave for tryouts. I know you guys probably have selections sometime this summer. When do you guys do your selections, Gavin?
Man, ours is super late, and it always is. I think we have a tournament, the Continental Clash, which you guys came to before Rio.
Yeah, that's a dope tournament.
Yeah, so that's in sort of July, early July. So I don't think we're going to pick our team till sort of July. I know we've got our official prep starts in June, first week in June. We have a camp in Portugal. So we all go to Portugal for that, and that's kind of like the start. But I'm up there tomorrow at a centralized program in Sheffield.
Okay.
So the guys that are finished, we're kind of coming in and starting our work now.
So we start tomorrow. It's a travel day, and then we got 17 athletes going on right now, so they're going to cut it down to 12 by the end of the week. So obviously me and Jake are going to be vying for our spots. So World Championship is going to be an awesome tournament this year. I think that there's a lot of parity with all the teams, and I think this is going to be one of the stronger tournaments, and I'm just hopeful to be in it.
Yeah, totally. I'm exactly the same. I hope I'm selected again. My first major was the Worlds in Birmingham in 2010 as well. So the World Championships are like, I don't know about you guys, but it's we all know Paralympics are like the big thing, like it's the big event. But I don't know about you, but I feel like the Worlds is like, just because it's us, there's no other sports. It's got a different like specialness for me. I don't know how you feel.
I literally just had this conversation yesterday. My girlfriend asked me, what is the highest level? Like what's the biggest honor? Is it World Cup or is it Paralympics? I think Paralympics, and it seems like you agree with me as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, there is that sort of special vibe that it's only basketball. So it's not all those other sports. There's not anything else to focus on. This is the main focal point. So I think they both have their place in special, but I think Paralympics is probably the higher honor.
Yeah, I agree with that. But you're not a team within a team and all that kind of stuff that happens at a Paralympics. You're part of you guys are part of a bigger Team USA. We're part of a bigger Paralympics GB. There's all that sort of stuff. But with this, it's just us and nothing but. And the tournament is bigger now too, right? So there's more teams.
Yeah, the tournament is it's longer. It's more difficult to win. I think you have to go through all those pools. It's definitely a special thing to win a world championship.
Yeah. Well, you weren't part of the O2 team, were you?
So I can't compare.
You weren't in Korea?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Thanks for bringing that up, though.
You did that to yourself. We're not even going to that.
Yeah.
No, Gaz knew I was in Korea. He's like,
no, I legit forgot. No, I legit forgot, mate. I legit forgot. You see, you've been around so long and you're graying and your hairline's receding so much. I think you've been around for years.
Oh.
Come on home, Jake. Come on home.
Because the shots fired. Bald is beautiful, baby. Bald is beautiful.
No, I agree.
If I was there, maybe we were the one. I don't know. I don't know. Probably not, though. Because Australia was really good. So probably not, but, I'm just hoping to be at this next World Championships. So hopefully.
All three of us are. So if our coaches are watching this, please select us and.
Yeah, please. we would like to be there. Us playing in Germany, me and Jake, we see a lot of the, sort of marketing and push for that. So I think it's going to be a really good organization. I feel like they've been working towards it, and the venue is beautiful up in Hamburg. I think it's going to be pretty good.
Yeah, their online kind of presence is great, and I think that seems to be where our sport is marketable. I think we spoke about it once before, where it's direct to kind of people online. But there still isn't that much coverage in terms of what you would call TV coverage or national TV coverage or the general public.
I don't think there's going to be any coverage from the States. We actually had quite a bit of stuff for the Paralympics, but I don't think there's going to be any media outlets coming for World Championships or anything like that.
I don't think the same for us.
Which some might say makes it hard to watch. So
yes, exactly.
What do you guys think about Trump's comment about the Paralympics? You guys have heard that, right?
Yeah. So I can't remember the exact quote, but he said something along the lines of, "It's inspiring, but it's hard to watch."
No, some of it is hard to watch.
Some of it is hard to watch. Okay. What do you think, Jake?
Right.
I think that I think at the end of the day, like, he was just stating his opinion. I mean, I think as a president, he was being a bad host. Like, if I'm inviting a banker over to my house, I'm not going to talk about how bad banking is. So it was just a bad host. But other than that, I mean, look, like, I don't watch all the able-bodied Paralympic sports. Like, I think, maybe figure skating is kind of hard to watch for me. But I think because it's the Paralympics, everyone got all offended and stuff. And I don't watch all the Paralympic sports because I think some of it might be hard to watch because I just don't like it. So I think that because of that, everyone got all offended. I mean, as a president, like I said, he was being a bad host. But I mean, at the end of the day, you like what you like. If you don't like it, I mean, you can't, don't pretend that you do like it, though.
I think what annoys me about the whole thing is that people came to his aid trying to figure out what he actually meant, right?
That's what I was going to say.
So let me make it abundantly clear, right? So, like, my opinions about his statement, are about the person that made it, and and it's about the talking about that conversation. It's not a political conversation, whether people are pro Trump or against Trump. I'm just talking about the comments that he made. And I feel like the people that came to his aid, to changing his words around, it's not. I mean, he spoke in plain English. He said the Paralympics are hard to watch. It wasn't like this Shakespearean dialogue that needed to be broken down.
But we should make it clear what you think that means, because I disagree with Jake when he says, he finds figure skating hard to watch because he doesn't like it. From obviously not being American, but we, the prevalence of how dominant the dominator culture, which is the United States and the world, we get enough Trump coverage to be able to see that I mean, to what kind of president he is in terms of how he communicates. But when he says hard to watch, to my ears, it sounded like there's something particularly difficult about disability, to see disability on screen, to face it. So it's almost like, facing your demon, so to speak, or like the kind of less sexy parts of humanity. That's how I perceive those words. I didn't perceive it as it's hard to watch because it's not something I enjoy.
Yeah, I get that, but I mean, I didn't get that at all. Okay. I mean, like I said, I mean, I just got, I just got that, like, some sports just aren't, interesting or whatever. And let's be honest, able-bodied sports are more popular than Paralympic sports. So
I think it's garbage of you to try to downplay it, though, because it was.
I'm not trying to downplay it. I'm not trying to downplay it. I said he's being a bad host.
It's a completely irresponsible comment. You know what I mean? It just
for sure.
It just gives people it gives people the wrong idea. I mean, we got the guy who's the the head of our country, basically. Absolutely. Wait, let me finish. Sorry. So I feel like the guy is the head of our country, and he gives he's a very influential person, and to give other people those wild thoughts, and just to be able to basically look down on the Paralympics, I think that's dangerous. I think for him to make those comments is dangerous. You're saying, okay, he was a bad host. No, it's way more than that, because he wasn't just talking to them. He was talking to America. He was talking to the world. And to use your voice like that and to sort of to shit on the Paralympics like that, I think that's dangerous. To have somebody speaking about a movement that we've been working so hard on to fight for legitimacy, I think it's garbage for you to try to downplay it.
I'm not trying to downplay it, and being president of the United States, you shouldn't make those comments, and no one's trying to downplay it. And as to like the people that you said are trying to like defend him or switch his words around, I think that's that's stupid, because he's not once. He's very blunt, so he always says what he means, and so you don't really need to find a deeper meaning, because he's always going to be very, very straightforward with it. But I'm just saying what I took it as, and I'm not trying to downplay it. But I also think that we know what this guy's going to say. He's going to be very blunt about everything that he says, so we have to expect that now, and so we can't try to find a deeper meaning, or maybe he said this, maybe the media twisted. No, like he said what he said. And I think as president of the United States, you can't say those comments as president of the United States.
I disagree with that a little bit. That you can't say it, because I think the way he presented that it's difficult to watch was in a negative way. For me, there are things that are difficult to watch that help that can be inspiring, that can be, through difficulty you can grow and your horizons can grow. So there are things that are difficult to watch. When I see someone, when I watch certain sports and I genuinely see the struggle, and that's difficult to watch in the first instance, but once I kind of get over the difficulty, I can see the nuances within it. So if he didn't stop the sentence as, oh, some of the Paralympics is difficult to watch, but, and then he made a statement of what
if he sort of elaborated.
Yeah, if that's how he felt in terms of, if it's inspiring, whether it's, Paralympics could be difficult to watch because so for example, even a sport which is one of the more dynamic sports like ours can be difficult to watch because you have preconceived notion of disability. So the first time someone gets wiped out and is lying on the floor, that might be difficult to watch for you. But when you see that person get up, you're like, oh. And then that gives, so the initial part was difficult to watch, but then as you carry on watching, you kind of, that feeling kind of evolves into respecting the sport as a sport itself. But that's not the context that he said.
And that's what's missing out of the comment. It's that respect that you spoke about. It's that acknowledging acknowledging what it takes to be a Paralympian. And I just think that those people came. You realize all those people were there to meet the president. It's an honor to go to the White House. It's a privilege to go there and meet the president when you're a Paralympian or you're Olympian. And for them to come there and just be, I don't know, belittled. I thought that was disgraceful, man.
Absolutely. He was being a bad host. And guys, I honestly didn't think about it from your side, so I can't really comment on that. I mean, I obviously haven't thought about that. Like, I didn't get that, but I mean, that's interesting perspective, though. Definitely. I mean, for sure. I mean, but go.
I was gonna say, I mean, there are ways that is hard to watch, though. Like Gaz sort of jumped into it, but I mean, I think that it's hard to watch in a way that we don't have that much coverage. You know what I mean? So the Paralympics isn't covered. I mean, not even 100%. I mean, way less than 100%. But there's just little specials about it and little segments that they put on there. So I mean, it's hard to reach. Maybe some of the sports have little nuances like classification that people don't understand that well. So maybe it's difficult to watch in a way that you don't understand how it works. Based off of classification and things like that. He didn't mean any of those things, but those are some of the ways that people are interpreting it.
So in terms of going forward, like, we've seen like other sport teams not go to the White House quite publicly, like the Warriors saying they wouldn't go to the White House. Do you think after these comments and seeing all those things, you guys as Paralympians, if you're invited, do you feel like it would affect how you felt about going? Or
that's an amazing question, to be honest. I think having put in that situation, being a Paralympian and being invited to the White House, I would have to evaluate it at that time. Obviously I'm not in that situation to where I'm invited to the White House at this moment to meet President Trump and be honored as an Olympian or Paralympian. But I think I would evaluate it, at that time, whoever the president was at the time, and whatever was going on. But at this very moment, I don't think that I would accept that invitation.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't go to the White House after Rio, but that had nothing to do with any political statement or anything. I just wanted to get to my German team quicker, which I told was a mistake for not going to the White House because they had a lot of fun without me, apparently.
Yeah, but, you should have went. You should have.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But like Matt said, you just have to evaluate it. And just so everyone knows, like, I didn't vote in the presidential election, so I'm not a Democrat, Republican, nothing. I mean, I live in Germany, whatever. Is
that a Make America Great Again hat in your background?
Yeah, of course. No, that's actually a Space Jam hat, which is really cool. But so I would have to evaluate it. But I mean, like, everyone talks about how much fun they had at the White House. I mean, I might have to go to the White House. I mean,
it is definitely an honor. I mean, I still speak about the time that I got a chance to go meet President Obama. People are always asking me about it. It was probably one of the most memorable times of my life. And he spoke so highly of us. He shook our hand. He was, he greeted us with such kindness. It was such a great experience. I couldn't imagine how these winter Paralympians felt. You know, just kind of get there and I mean, they're going to remember it forever for different reasons, which sucks.
I hear that. I hear that. I don't know. Yeah, I think it is interesting though, like where, you know, there's such we live in a time with there's so much like outrage culture in general with like social justice and whatnot, and the level of outrage at any kind of action. I think what did surprise me, and again it speaks to the coverage, is that there was very little discussion, or, you know, we talk about the Paralympics, but there was as far as what I saw, there was very little opinions taken from the actual Paralympians that he said the comment to. Yeah. There was kind of like the usual kind of blogs written about from a social justice perspective that write on all issues of social justice, whether it be race or gender or identity or whatever else. And those same kind of people were writing about it, but I couldn't see anything written from or any kind of coverage given directly to the Paralympians that he said it to. And that speaks to, for me, in terms of how our movement is again underrepresented within the media.
Well, I mean, those comments got more coverage than any sport or any gold medalist in that entire Olympics from the Paralympians. So, I mean,
that's a great point.
So, like you said, the outrage culture, I mean, we kind of built that, you know. I mean, I don't really know any Winter Paralympians, I'm sorry, but if someone's getting a gold medal and that gets shared as many times as these comments, then with them we would celebrate them more. But since these comments, you know, were so big and got shared, they got more coverage than the actual sports themselves. And I think if you think that's a problem, then we definitely need more coverage for the sports itself. I mean,
totally.
For sure,
totally.
Now, you know, one of the coolest parts about going to the White House was like going out and kind of hanging out with all the Olympians and hanging out with all the Paralympians, which kind of leads me to, like, you know, when you guys go out with like your teams, or you're like celebrating, like, let's say you won like a big championship or something like that, and you go out with, you know, an entire wheelchair basketball team, or, you know, even not even the entire one, but, you know, 4 or 5 guys. You know, how do you guys feel about that? Like when you sort of hit the night with a bunch of disabled people.
Oh man, you know what? I'll say one thing though, and this is from obviously, you know, as an amputee and a walker. One thing that is really annoying to me personally is the people firstly, like the level of stress you get with the amount of chairs to get in the place. I remember when me and Jake played in Hamburg, that whole situation that happened a couple times. So direct experience. But more than that, it really annoys me. Even if it's just one, so say me and you went out, Matt, and the bouncer would talk to me like you can't speak.
Oh, man.
And I don't know how you guys feel about that, because I feel awkward. Like, I'm out with my friend, and literally they're ignoring the person in the wheelchair to discuss with me the situation. And I'm like, do you know what I mean? And I just think, like,
I know exactly.
I don't know how it feels from that perspective, because that really annoys me. Because I'm like, don't ask me. Do you know what I mean? Like, don't ask me if he can handle stairs, or if he can. He's right here. Like, what are you talking to me for?
Yeah. Well, I've never had that happen in America. So when I went to Europe, that was a new experience for me. Definitely. I mean, so
I definitely feel like it's a bit, I don't know, more of like a new concept. And I mean, maybe not even a new concept, but it is more difficult in Europe. You know, I've been playing in Italy, I've been playing in Germany. I feel like sometimes you get to, I don't know, a particular popular bar or a particular nightclub or something, and they sort of question whether they're going to let you in or not. You know, it's sort of a discussion. You know what I mean? Because of, I don't know, fire hazard, or you're in the way, or I don't know what it is, but I feel like that doesn't really happen to me when I'm in the States.
Not at all.
When I'm in Europe, I feel like it happens quite often.
Yeah, I mean,
I know there was quite famous like instances even in London. So, you know, London is, England kind of passed this law a while back, maybe 20 years ago, which was like the Anti-Discrimination Act, all that kind of stuff. So everywhere was supposed to be accessible, and it largely is. But I know there have been some issues, especially at the high end. So, you know, if you're going to like a high-end club, I know there's been issues where people in wheelchairs haven't been allowed.
Really?
Yeah, like legitimately not allowed.
Oh, wow.
And you know, there's even been issues in terms of, you know, some black people not allowed, and there's been all sorts of those kind of discriminatory actions taken. But going out in chairs, you know, that's, you know, the going out in multiple groups of chairs is not the one, I don't think. Anyway.
Now, you know what? I actually don't like it. You know, I feel like it's. How can I put this without sounding super bogus? I feel like it just brings this, like, not a distraction. You just bring all this attention to yourself in a negative way, though. You know, and also I feel like whenever I'm out, it's like a large group of people in wheelchairs. I no longer feel like an individual.
You don't want to. You don't feel special enough. Is that what you're saying?
No. That's not it. I don't feel like an individual. I feel responsible for everything said and done by anybody that's in a wheelchair in my group. You know, so if anything embarrassing happened, it wasn't just John spilled a drink all over that girl and made her mad, or John smacked this girl in the ass or something that made her pissed off.
I like how you changed Jake to John in that, by the way. That's good. You changed Jake to John. Real subtle.
What are you talking about, me? Okay. Oh, yeah, right.
No, but honestly, though, it sort of feels like that. And, you know, you have like that responsibility for anything that person does. It's like you're no longer an individual anymore. It's like whatever is done, it's just like that those guys did that. Or, you know what I mean? And if it's embarrassing or if it's, you know, if it's great, you all have to wear it.
Yeah. I mean, look, man, going out with like, man, 3 at the maximum of like wheelchairs, but like, man, I feel like maybe any more than that, like you said, it's just like negative attention. It feels like a circus then, because everyone's like looking at you and stuff like that. You know what I mean, though?
I do know what you mean.
And that's not the one, you know what I mean? Yeah, but even if we're just going out, like even if I'm just going out with like one person, and like you said, that person is doing something stupid, like spilling drinks or, you know, causing problems with the bouncers, I feel like they're gonna look at me and say I do that too, and like you said, like I'm responsible for that. So, you know, that's, I mean, with anything, I guess, but I mean, yeah, going out with like more than 3 ain't the one, man.
It's just kind of weird. It's like able-bodied people don't go out in like matching costumes or something. Like that'd be weird.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah,
like if a big group of guys showed up to the club with like full hazmat gear, like everybody's gonna be staring at them. You know what I mean? So it has nothing to do with like how I feel about myself. Like I'm perfectly fine with having a disability. I'm perfectly fine with all the people that I'm with that have a disability. It's just kind of weird when you can't be comfortable with everybody. Just sort of, nobody's comfortable because I mean, like there's 10 wheelchairs. Everybody's kind of stepping around you. People don't know where to go. You know, it gets odd, man.
Yeah, and it is a pain in the ass moving around in a wheelchair in a club.
Yeah.
So if you're a few of you, you can't just say to your friend, "Let's go to the bar." If there's 2 of you in a chair, because it's just a scene. Like
right.
you know, C's got a part in a tight ass space.
I agree with that.
I mean, Gaz is able-bodied, so you don't got to deal with that, you know. Gaz is able-bodied, so he just walks wherever he wants to, you know.
I mean, I hang out with Jake quite often. We go out all the time. Yeah. And usually when we're in a group of people, like there's more than 3 or 4, we usually bounce. Like me and him just
oh my God, your teammates are gonna like watch this and say, "Oh, that's those bastards."
No, but they know it and they laugh about it. They're just like, "Oh, Matt and Jake disappeared again."
Oh my God.
We're really sneaky about it too.
You know what's the worst is we'll set everybody up. We'll be like, all right, hey, you know, who needs a drink? You know, whatever. We'll get everybody anything, and then we'll just go to another bar.
So you let your secret out of the bag, man.
It's all right. No worries.
Oh.
No worries.
We have no secrets on the podcast.
Definitely not.
There are no secrets on Shots Podcast. Yo, who's the Goober of the week?
Is that time already? Goober of the week?
That's what time it is.
All right. So, Goober of the week, kind of go back to the social faux pas of like being in a wheelchair. What I don't like, and you guys can come in this, I don't like when someone's going out in public that's in a wheelchair without any shoes on. So there's like going to the store rocking up in just socks and or like not even sometimes like without socks, and that's a bad look, you know, man. I mean, able-bodied people don't just rock up with no shoes or anything and just in socks in public, you know, and like, man, I just hate that. I just hate that. And like on the back of my car in X-Labin, there's like 3 people without socks in there on the team picture, and I don't like that at all. I don't like that at all.
Name them. Name
car.
the Goobers then. That's 3 Goobers.
I can't remember because I don't have my car here and I don't have the picture of it. However, you know, I don't like that. So, I mean, I don't know what you guys think. I mean,
obviously, shoe game is important for me. So I'm definitely gonna try to keep the best ones possible. So I don't go against that, Goober.
Yeah, I'm with that. Especially because, like, it's not like they're nicely fresh, like, manicured toes or nothing. Like, they're not, like, the most... Do you know what I mean? Like, they're not visually appealing. It sometimes looks like a sausage or something. Like a frankfurter. Like, all swollen and red.
Who have you been hanging out with, man? Dang.
I'm just trying to imagine these, like, feet that are just not the one.
But don't you see people that do that, like go in public with like no shoes on though? Like
I see that all the time, and that is
not the one, man.
No, you're right. That's not the move.
No,
I definitely agree with that, Goober.
I mean, guys in wheelchairs, please have your swag up. If you need some shoe game, go to the Sneaker King, Matt Scott over here, man. He can help you out.
Yeah, his kicks are fresh as hell. He doesn't even need to wear shoes, and he's got the most.
That's right. You gotta keep the sickest game around.
What's the deal with that anyway? No feet, don't care, kicks.
You know, it's just one of those things I like, man. It's just one of those things I like.
Sometimes you gotta rock the kicks, you know what I mean?
I hear you. Tell them about it.
Oh
man, and you know, I only have 3 pairs of shoes, so you know, can't tell them about them that much, you know. But
you know, you gotta start somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta start somewhere. Yeah, man.
So I think that's pretty much it, right? We all good?
We named it.
I mean,
yeah. Oh, what was I gonna say? Before we forget, we wanted to set up some sort of poll type thing about what you guys want to see in future episodes. So we'll be setting that up.
You know what I've been getting a lot of. I've been getting a lot of inboxes on Instagram and Facebook about people that are trying to get connected with, I don't know, teams overseas, and they're trying to get an opportunity to play. And I actually don't know exactly where to point them sometimes, you know? So, I mean, if you're watching this and you're trying to, you know, get over to Germany, get over to, you know, Spain, get over to Italy, and if you're one of those teams that, you know, I know some of the coaches watch this. I know that some of the some of the players watch this. You know, point people in the right direction, man. Get up under the comments, and if you're looking for players or if you're looking for a team, I mean, maybe we could kind of use this as an opportunity for people to get plugged into a team and get some opportunities to play abroad.
Cool. Righto, another one in the bag. Good luck next week, guys. In the tryouts.
Yeah, man.
When is your team announced? You guys know the date?
I'm pretty sure the 27th or the 28th, but not for sure.
Okay. Because I know a few teams have already been announced, right? So Germany, I think, got announced.
Germany got announced. Yeah.
Andre, congrats to Andre Binek.
Shout out to Andre Binek.
Yeah, for making the team.
Yeah, man.
I think it's crazy that it's even ever in doubt. A guy like Andre Binek making a national team.
That was garbage, but anyway.
Yeah. Well, I know as Team GB, I'm sure with you guys, I would have been very happy to see a Team Germany without Andre Binek.
Oh, for sure. I mean, that would have just been a bad move.
Yeah.
I mean, no offense to the guy that they were, you know, he was going up against. It would have just been a bad move.
Yeah.
You know, it's like top 3 player in Germany.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Andre's really good. I don't think you can leave him off the national team, but I mean, you know.
I mean, you can. It's just a bad move.
Yeah. Cool. But yeah, man, cool.
So, for sure. Yeah. Hopefully, we'll be sporting the 3 letters across our chest next time you see us.
Yeah.
And good luck to you and in all the camps and all that stuff.
Cool,
too.
man. Good looking out. Later.